Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I am Mr. Man. And thank you guys for spending some time with me, especially early in the morning. The sun's bright now. I'm just here at a hotel, traveling. My way down to go see my partner's sister. Should I say my fiance's sister? But this morning on the agenda, we're going to talk about an individual who was with the ISFCA, which is the Indian I want to say new Indian regulatory body. Not I want to say it is the Indian new Indian regulatory body. They had joined their securities exchange as well as their commodities regulatory body and merged them into one entity. So I had a hunch that the U.S. was doing this as well. And here's the video. Actually, here's the video first of the individual talking about this. When we get back, I'll show you that connection.
You have a jurisdiction which is like an offshore, right? Because it's all foreign currencies. So it's like getting a small Dubai or Singapore here within India. So that was the idea of creating an IFSC. And initially, the four domestic sector regulators, namely the RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, SEBI, IRDI, and PFRDI, were kind of regulating that space. So if a new bank has to come and be set up in this international zone, RBI used to give the license. If an exchange has to come in, SEBI will come and do it for the capital markets. If an insurance guy has to come, IRDI, and so on and so forth. But then for the ease of doing business and so on and so forth, the government in 2019 passed, through an act of the parliament, created a new unified regulator. And that is IFSCA, the authority. So IFSC's authority, the new regulator, which has the powers of RBI, SEBI, IRD, and PFRDI. That's why it became unified, was created. And I think we started operations in, little past the middle of 2020. So it's a very relatively new regulator. So India has 5 financial sector regulators. The 4 are domestic and the 5th one is this unified regulator. Now, going to that unified regulator concept with this background, if a fintech comes with a banking solution, service, product, we know RBI could take care of it, digital lending, for example, or neobanks. If there is a capital market related stuff, then probably SEBI is there. If an insurtech comes, then IRDA is there, and so on and so forth. But when you have a unified regulator, typically today you have embedded insurance with digital lending, and soon the fintech becomes a super app. So when you straddle across different regulators' domain, it becomes very difficult. And that's why this unified regulator concept becomes very powerful. So IFSCA is the unified regulator for the IFSC. We have the first IFSC in Gift City today, and we might have more in the future. And this is a foreign jurisdiction. And being a unified regulator, for any bank to come and set up in this jurisdiction, IFSCA gives the license. For stock markets, brokers, the exchanges. Again, IFSC is the person giving the approval. Same for insurance companies and for pension funds. So basically, what essentially it means is it's a unified regulator. But then the real power comes in when you're talking about the cooler things which we need to really be working on. For example, climate or things related to green and sustainability. These are not boxed by a banking domain only or a capital markets domain only, right? These cut across. So being a unified regulator, if a green fintech comes into the fray, it becomes easy for us to give them the authorization and let them do business across these domains. So that's how the unified regulator becomes very powerful. Another example could be the emerging space techs. So today you're talking about embedded finance, you're talking about say sustainable finance and decentralized finance, but there is a spatial finance coming in. You're taking space data sets, the geospatial intelligence, and that is getting fed into your green fintechs for greenwashing, to prevent that or to see that. Or the second thing could be the spatial information is given to agri-techs so that it gives better loans to the farmer, or crop insurance. So when you say loan, when you say crop insurance, you're talking about a banking activity and insurance activity. And all these are financial activities. So when you have a unified regulator, again, it becomes very easy to bring all of these together and add value to the ecosystem. So probably I'll take a pause here and give it back to Prashant, but I hope I drove home the point of what is this IFSC, IFSCA, and this unified regulator concept and the benefits.
So now that you've seen that connection, or sorry, now that you've seen that and heard what the individual has to say, here's the connection to the US with the SEC and the CFTC, how they had proposed back in 2009, ironically, when Bitcoin came out, that they wanted to merge the two entities, the CFTC and SEC as well. So that being said, Ripple had put out a policy framework back in 2019 stating that the SEC and the CFTC should have appointees within Ripple. So if we're following the breadcrumbs and putting the dots together, that to me makes sense that we're going down a similar path to what India has already set up. Along with that, Ripple is now a member of the ISDA, which is the derivatives market. And the derivatives market is massive, massive. Now, another huge market that I'm aware of is our smart cities, and Interledger is connected with smart cities. Smart city is projected to, is forecasted to growth about $1 trillion. I have people looking at me as I'm recording right now with my mask on. It is projected to be $1 trillion by 2030. And I'm aware of about 12 projects, but I'm sure there's many, many, many smart city projects going on. But for the ones that are going to be prepared or ready for the 2030 agenda, $1 trillion industry. Thanks for your time. I'll catch you on the next one.